Good evening, Evan. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. Yeah. I mean, the restaurant's really busy. We have a really good team right now. A lot of just positivity in the building,
That's
with
important.
staff and with the guests, and food looks good. And yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of things are very, very good right now.
Yeah, that's good. No, that's really good. And it's we haven't I don't can't remember exactly the last time we talked, but a lot has changed just within the last year for you guys, milestones and different
Big
things
time. Yeah.
and lots of different things. Let's talk about first because before not that I would forget about it, but let's talk about Cole and Casey left. So,
Yeah.
can you talk to them and talk about,
That was just the other day. So, we are still obviously in the middle of that transition. Cole and Casey helped us build up, the restaurant as it is today, to be the Michelin Star, to be the number two. So losing them is obviously a big blow, but we have some people in place who we're really proud of and happy to kind of insert into those roles and, ready to grow and move
yeah.
forward to the next phase. We wish them well, obviously. I mean, I've said it to anybody who will listen that I think Cole's the best pitmaster I've ever worked with. So I think, Joe obviously has a lot to live up to. I think he's up for the task. And then Cole and Casey are just going to go out there and smash it. Obviously, they're going to be a truth for a little while, but yeah, beyond that, whatever else they do, whenever else they do it, it's going to be great.
Yeah, no, and I thought I had seen something where they were going to Truth. So they're going to Truth right now. So if you're in Houston area, you can see them at Truth, at least for
Right.
the moment. And then
Yeah,
who
I
knows
don't
when.
know exactly the day of the start day, but probably sometime, very soon.
Yeah. And how long has Cole worked for you?
5 years. He started during the pandemic.
Wow. And from from kind of like your little story thing that I saw that was nice and what a wonderful thing to do. He took
Yeah.
your new school barbecue class and then
Yeah, yeah. The very first one we did right before the pandemic, he took that class, and then we kind of discussed internally that we were going to have to hire somebody, and then we brought him on in kind of a temporary role that grew into a regular role,
uh,
and then he really just learned everything he could. He hit the ground running. He just, man, absorbed barbecue, and then when the time came that it became too much for kind of me to just handle like everything, we needed a pit master and we knew that he was the guy. And he built everything at the restaurant, all the systems, all the recipes. He figured the pits out,
wow.
set the schedule, got everybody on task, really, you know, got a team marching in the right direction. Um, but yeah, like I said, wish him well, Joe. I think the team's in great hands with
Yeah.
him.
And
And yeah, I mean, I was just saying that Joe is coming into really good position, and I think that he's just going to take it, to whatever that next level is. So I'm excited for him.
and am I crazy and think you worked at Hill Country, right, in New York?
That's right.
So and then was that connection somehow with Joe? Was that through you, or was that just somehow that just happened organically, or
I don't know if it was directly through me. I think Mark probably was looking for somebody to come in there and kind of take over the barbecue. And, I don't know, I can't speak for Joe's
yeah,
experience there, but you know, I I would I recommended him because
yeah,
I believe in him and I thought that would be a good fit. But as soon as he told me that he was kind of, having apprehensions about the job a few months in, Cole had literally just told me that he was about to leave. And so I
so
was
that's perfect. Like it was a
like, I basically told him I'm not gonna uh, you know, ask you to leave somewhere to come here, but if you do, you have a
yeah.
landing spot.
And Joe has, such knowledge and such passion, and so and he's grown. I've watched. It's just funny how it's just interesting to watch everyone grow from afar because I haven't had a chance to physically hang out with you guys, but it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
has. But I've seen Joe mature and become better. Yeah, it's just you're in great hands with him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I get it too. We hear that all the time from people in the restaurant of like, hey, I've been following you guys since this, and it's the first time I've got to come, and it's very exciting. It's
Yeah.
very cool.
And one of my questions is a later on question, but I it kind of folds into what we're talking about. When you officially closed the food truck and you were just fully at the brick and mortar, emotionally, what was that like? Or was that just you were steamrolling through into the brick and mortar? Not, did you ever get a chance to take a step back and think, because that was what made you who you are as in that barbecue position in the, and I just wondered, did you ever take a step back and think about it, or is it?
I mean, the only way that you would like take us, I mean, if you're talking about take a step back to like, should we keep this, or take a step back to just like reflect on what happened? Of course, we reflected on, the entirety of the food truck, and we had a really good run
Yeah,
there. And it was just kind of a constant craziness there with COVID and just with everything with Cosmic, or just owning a food truck is a crazy life in general.
yeah,
So, um, and that, there was a lot of us that were, a big portion of us who were running the truck who were very happy to see it go away. Because it was really difficult. I had to drive that thing up there, a couple times a year and all the way up to the health department and
oh
all the way
yeah,
back. And that thing is like, I mean, at this point, it might be like a 30-year-old food truck. And our huge pit trailers that are hard to tow. And then we got to back them all back in, which is all right. Yeah. I
yeah,
mean, it was, yeah. So getting rid of the food truck, and it's not we're not making any money doing
yeah.
that, So we're breaking even there, if that, on a good day, and on a bad day, we're losing money. So we should not be operating that business.
And why? Because because when I was working with John, we had to take his trailer and the food truck to a specific place, which is the same place you're referring to get it.
Yeah.
Why don't they do? That's just weird. That's a weird. I guess maybe that's how Austin does it.
Well, they also send they also send people out to you, but
Yeah.
you have to prove that your like setup is mobile.
Ah, is that the whole thing? Okay. So
Yeah.
that's good. That's good advice for anybody that wants to. It's crazy enough
Yeah.
to start a food truck and
Well,
anywhere.
each year they kind of add like another kind of barrier to entry or regulation or something and kind of make it a little bit more difficult. So the earlier you got into the game, like you usually don't need to update your stuff for that, but later you get into it, it's going to be a lot harder, more expensive, harder to find a spot. You don't want to, you got to have a plan for the summertime because it's just going to be dead and slow. Nobody wants to be outside in 100-degree heat.
Yeah, especially and the food truck is like what 30 degrees hotter inside
Yeah.
than yeah, and dealing with pits and fire and hot stuff. That's but what did it feel like? Did you have any inkling like the you knew I guess we had all heard that Michelin was going to at Austin, Houston, Dallas, like maybe is that what it was? They were
Yeah.
potentially. But
San
what
Antonio.
but what was that like getting the star? How does like cuz that's a that's huge. That's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
I mean,
What was that moment like?
no, I still can't believe it. It was a crazy moment, and I've told the story before, but we knew that we got invited to the ceremony. That's really all we knew. And then they did everything alphabetically, so they went through all the recommends, and then they obviously skipped L and they skipped us, and they did all of the bib gourmands and they skipped us again, and then they did all the kind of other like in kind of ancillary awards like the Young Chef Award and I think the like the Wine Service Program Award and some other awards. And then they did the stars and then they skipped us again. And so I was really confused, but I had known that John Bates was like going to be there too. So I thought something was up, and then they started to call barbecue people, and then they called us very last. So it was really cool. It was unbelievable, and really, I mean, it's changed a lot about our business. The one day we are trying to, we're like trying really hard to do well on the list over here and trying to be the best barbecue restaurant that we can be. And then the very next day, it's like you're kind of like lofted to this thing, and all of us have to push ourselves to be better for service, for food, for more consistency. Obviously, we got busier, and that is just harder to do too.
Yeah.
Um, but it's all been very positive. All the team has reacted very well, and we did lift, I think, and I think we are earning that star every day, or at least trying to, coming very close as much as we can. Um, yeah, it's been awesome, and they're
Yeah.
gonna come around soon again too. So it's not like we're thinking about it or anything.
Yeah, it's not on your mind. Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, so is this something I hate this because can they take away a star? Is that something is that because I know in France, right, guys get like 3 stars and then they go down to two. Is that something that
Yeah.
they are planning on doing for people? Like that's kind
So
of a
they,
cruel.
I mean, they can't take away the one in
The one,
24, right?
okay,
We earned that one,
you've
and that
always
is
had that.
well, it's affixed to the building, right? That one is affixed to the building, and if we get, I guess, another one, there's no way barbecue restaurant's going to get 2 stars. So
Yeah,
if we, retain the star, I think is the language that most people use. Then I guess we hopefully we get another plaque, put it right next to the.
yeah.
But
Hopefully, it's just like the whole
that would be
sign.
if we get very fortunate
Yeah, yeah,
again. But who
yeah.
knows?
That's could you tell when the person came, or is that something that's it's not like the spoon or fork on the floor thing that they talk about, or
No, and honestly, we get so many people through there on a weekend day, like a Saturday. There's no
yeah,
way that we could like. I mean, obviously, we're picking up silverware off the floor, but we don't see a lot of silverware on the floor. But and we get a lot of like foreigners too, so it's not like it's like a French person coming
yeah,
in there. And I think that they use a lot of local people, kind of like, or at least take their
yeah.
opinions into consideration. So.
Yeah, it's just different. It's just something that people don't. I don't think people think about Michelin, and obviously they don't think about it connected to barbecue as much as they do now. But it's just I think that it's for the everyday barbecue visitor, Michelin anything is just they probably just don't think about it. Maybe
Yeah, I mean,
not.
yeah, not until last year. And
Yeah,
then now I think that it's like it's I don't know. Who knows what'll happen this year, but
yeah,
I mean, I think that they're trying to kind of, you know, they're obviously an authority on food and they want it to just not just
yeah.
be the very, very fine dining level. They're a travel guide at the end of the day. So
Hmm.
there's like multiple levels that they want to kind of like recognize as being really good.
Yeah. No, that's killer. It's
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about the list in a little bit, but I wanted to talk about your cookbook coming out. Is that
Yeah,
how long have you been working on that? And like let's talk more about that. And it's not a LeRoy and Lewis cookbook, it's a new school barbecue cookbook by
that's
or
right. That's right. The title's called New School Barbecue. I wrote it with Paula Forbes, who's now a writer at Texas Monthly.
oh yeah.
Um
She did cured, isn't that wasn't that
she did Cured with Steve McHugh. She's has her own cookbook, the Austin Cookbook. Um she has done a lot of cookbook work. The reason I asked her to help me write is because she's a cookbook expert. I knew it'd be really good if I could like have her help me organize everything and just make it like turn all my crazy thoughts into like
yeah.
something that, you know, is legible and like makes sense. So the photos look amazing. They were done by Matt Taylor Gross. He's an incredible photographer. The just the photo shoot part was like a whirlwind. It was like 10 days and just like so many setups, and it's just every single part of this entire process takes so much more work and has like so many more hands and eyes and people like looking at it and like tweaking every little tiny thing that
Interesting.
it blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Like you had no idea that was even part of the
No, I had no idea. I mean, you know,
we know
I
people that have cookbooks, but
yeah, I guess I started getting all of the stuff to all of the like recipes together for it in 2023. Like we made the recipe list and it's like a pitch deck,
mhm.
right? So like table of contents, a couple chapters, and then kind of like have an outline of like a set like a sample, and shop that around to publishers. and then one of them bought it. It was Abrams. They're awesome. They've been very helpful the whole way. The design of the book is incredible. Really, really excited for people to see it. They've like flipping through it, it feels like you're at the restaurant, which is really cool.
That's awesome. When does
Uh,
this come out?
it's going to come out in May of next year.
Okay.
So
And
still a ways away, but right
reserve
on the cusp of grilling season, barbecue season
yeah.
next year. And we'll do some dates to promote it, kind of book tour stuff in different cities and stuff too.
And you'll have stuff, events probably at your restaurant too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you took us on a tour, and I'll put a link below to the rest with the restaurant. Do you feel like the restaurant is how you had envisioned it from the start? And is it more than you expected? Are there things that you're going to be adding to the restaurant? Like how do you feel with the restaurant?
Yeah, I mean it looks amazing. I am really happy with the kind of sectioned off like dining rooms because it makes it kind of, you know, if it's I mean it's usually pretty full, but on days that it's not very full, then if there's people in kind of one room concentrated, then it kind of feels like it's kind of full.
Yeah.
Um, it's really useful because we can do like the steaks in that kind of back room. We can sit, a lot of big families in one room. And then the main dining room kind of has like some smaller tables, and then there's outside seating. Um,
And bar seating, right, too.
feel Yeah, yeah, and bar seating too. Uh, feels like a neighborhood restaurant, just kind of like a big neighborhood restaurant, and it's great. I'm still not tired of being there.
And that's a plus. Yeah, once you start getting tired of it, then there's the issue. And how is it the dynamic? And that was one of my questions too that I kind of wrote in a long way, but the d dynamic of you and your wife and Sawyer and her husband and working with couple like how has that worked? And it doesn't always work, and it seems to really be working. So can you talk to
Yeah.
that a little bit?
I mean, I think it just comes down to trust. I think we have our skill sets are such that like we fill in each other's gaps, and then we just trust each other to do their job. There's difficulties and just like anything else, but uh we work through them, and it's a partnership. We just try to be true to that, and just have everybody's best interest in mind. Just be
Does it
fair.
Yeah, that's important. And I guess when I was wondering about like kind of your pinch yourself or like looking at the restaurant, do you ever have any moments with Sawyer where you're like, I can't believe where we've come from, like how far we've come from the early days? Like, or is that just because you're in it, you're just in it?
Yeah, I mean, we we are very like forward focused, so we don't spend a lot, too much time kind of dwelling on what we've done, but we also try to, there are times like obviously when Cole's leaving, we kind of think about his entire time here. We just did an interview with PBS Austin that uh, had us just kind of telling the whole story, like sitting down there together. And they were asking questions that were just like getting emotional. But uh, you know, it is nice to kind of like sit down and think about that. But like I said, we're always just trying to keep moving forward.
Yeah. And in that sense, can you talk about your menu? I have a specific items, but when people think of your restaurant, and I think they still think of that, even though they maybe have read about you or heard about you or talked to people about it, it isn't a standard. It isn't just a Texas Trinity and a bunch of sides.
Right.
So can you talk about the menu, and then I'll maybe ask you some specific things like about beef cheeks and bacon ribs, like things that people might not know. They hear it, but they don't know what it is. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have a few like we have a concentration on a lot of beef items on our menu. So we have beef ribs every day. We do about 4 racks of beef ribs a day. And they sell out pretty quickly, but they're really good. We've gone from multiple different sources, including Dean Peeler, RC Ranch, all Texas raised beef. That is like our main thing. It's just like Texas raised meat.
Mhm.
Um, And then we have brisket every day, foil boat brisket. Those come from Heart Brand Beef, Dean and Peeler. We have flat iron, which is a cut from the shoulder clod. That's kind of an updated version of clod, which is like a classic barbecue, Texas
Hmm.
barbecue cut. That like a brisket has multiple muscles in it, but we kind of butchered one of them out. Actually, the better comparison for clod is like a chuck, but yeah, we butcher out the top blade, which is where the flat iron steaks come from. If you butcher a top blade out of a clod, you can cut two flat iron steaks from a top blade. But we keep the top blade together
Okay.
and roast it, or not roast it, but barbecue it, right? Cook it in the pit like a brisket. And it has this like band of fat that runs down the length of it, in the middle of it, this band of like tissue that you have to butcher out to get the steaks, but just like the cheeks, if you cook it, till it gets tender, then it's really sticky and delicious. Um, and the flat iron's also a really good cook because it's marbled and it's a good steak.
And but the flat iron is sliced, whereas the cheeks are broken up, right? Or kind of like almost like a or no? Am I
Oh no, the cheeks have always been sliced.
haven't they? Okay, I haven't been there. So.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
jackass.
yeah. The cheeks have always been
I
sliced.
don't know
Yeah.
why. Have I had to? But some people is that they use it for barbacoa? Maybe am I thinking that? I don't know what I'm thinking.
Most people use cheeks for barbacoa,
Okay,
but we, in the very early days of the food truck, uh, developed this way of cooking them, just like a brisket. When you think about a brisket, you could cook it till it mushes
yeah,
up.
I guess you could, yeah, or chop it
Um,
up, or yeah.
and so that's what we did with the cheek. It's like, why don't we just cook it till a sliceable texture? And so we did that, and it was nice and rendered and sticky and like really good.
Okay.
There's like a really satisfying, like kind of like just the same way that you bite a rib and it stays on there, or a good piece of brisket or a good piece of steak that's tender, that pulls, that still has just the right amount of chew to it, but is not chewy.
Mhm.
That's kind of, I mean, that's like the best case
Okay.
scenario.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for. I just felt like, and like a smart guy would probably cut that out so he wouldn't look like an idiot. But perhaps there's other people that might not know that because I
Yeah,
I don't know what maybe I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. Okay. So go yeah. So go on because then
but yeah, we got the flat iron, we got the cheeks that I just described. We
yeah.
put those in this I mean, we season all that stuff with salt and pepper. We smoke it and then we confit the cheeks. We have tri-tip,
Mhm.
which we cook like a steak. It's smoked and then grilled. We have whole hog, which we bring in half pigs, butcher them down, put those on the direct chud
Mhm.
pits, pick the meat, and then serve whole hog barbecue, chopped up with the crispy skin on top. We have a couple homemade sausages. We have a jalapeno cheese chorizo, a pork hop sausage. That's like a kielbasa that has hops in it.
Okay. That's what was one of my questions about the hop sausage was. Okay.
Yeah. And then we have like a rotating sausage that we'll just do like a different special every day. Not every day, but every week. We do cauliflower burn ends and miso glazed carrots. Those are our two vegetable barbecue mains or sides.
Mhm.
We have direct smoked chicken, which is really fantastic. We get it from Truebird Farm.
Are you cooking whole chickens and then butchering them, or are you doing chicken
We
breasts
get them in
or
whole. We cut them down to halves. We brine them like that, and then we cook halves.
okay.
Um, we have, a bunch of sides that are different. We have Frito pie, which is my favorite thing on the menu. Um, we have our grainbow salad, which is like nice and sweet and cream, not creamy, but tangy and fresh. It's like a grain salad, so cooked wheat berries and rye berries and a vinaigrette. We have a chori papas, which is really good.
Yeah,
It's
I was gonna ask that.
yeah.
What is that?
So that is a
Like a family recipe?
yeah, yeah. So that's like something my grandma used to make, like a version of that when we were kids growing up on like the weekends.
Hmm.
You like take the chorizo and you cook it in the pan and then you cook your potatoes in that too, so it kind of like soaks up like all the fat and stuff. And you just put that in like a taco, or you could have that on the side of whatever. But we just put that stuff in a boat with some cheese and salsa on it. Uh, we have some kimchi as a side. That's kind of more like a rare, like a fresh kind of bright, spicy, tangy, pickly
Mm.
side. We have
Do you have a hash?
kale Caesar slaw, which has been on the menu since day one. We have pork hash and rice, which we use from the pulled whole hog. And then we have a whole like anytime eats menu full of sandwiches, salads. We have our L&L burger. And then we have an entire pastry program, with its entire team and
Do
like,
you? This is something
oh
you didn't
yeah,
have with the food truck, right?
not even close. No,
Yeah.
now we have a pastry chef. Her
Yeah,
name
talk
is
about that.
Yeah, she's incredible. Our pastry chef Meredith Haas. She used to work at a chocolate factory, I think. And
That's awesome.
then not I think, but I know she worked at a chocolate factory. I just don't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
But and at Laundrette for a while too.
Huh.
And she's incredibly talented. We have a really good pastry team. Um, Banana pudding tiramisu, German chocolate cobbler. We have a mesquite brown butter chocolate chip cookie. A lot of people think it's mesquite smoked. It's not a smoked cookie. It's mesquite bean pod flour. There's bean pods that grow on the mesquite tree, and they're like, you crack them open, you grind the pods down into like a flour, and it's really nutty, and like rich tasting.
Whoa.
Fantastic. It's like a super cookie. It's really, really
A
good.
super cookie.
Uh,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, oh God, we have this ice cream. We have a ice cream sundae that's like a smoky oak sundae, is what we call it. We take like a burning log, plunge it down into the cream, and it like bubbles, and like you soak it in there for a little while, and you strain everything out, and the cream is like toasted and smoky and like really, really good. And we have like a chocolate fudge and cherries on there and stuff
Oh,
too. It's really good.
your neighbors are so lucky.
Yeah,
Like seriously, like
yeah,
that would be like that. So it's so that's if say someone's coming any time of day because you guys are open not Tuesdays, but every day but Tuesday, and it's
right.
11 to 9 every day or 11 to 8-ish or what?
Yeah, yeah. 11 to 9 and then 10 on Friday and
Friday,
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay. 10 on
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday. And now, how much of what you're describing can you get on the weekends? Is it like it lowers to, 2, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or something? And then there's always something, obviously, because you have lots of different options. But
Yeah, I would say that the beef ribs always sell out first, and they are usually around 12 or 1, depending on the day. Sometimes like the first people, 12 people in line will buy a beef rib each, and then that's it.
yeah,
And we just don't have a ton of space on the pit to put them, but we have enough space to where we're just like, we might as well just cook that many beef ribs a day, and then that's it. We have, I would say, cheeks are usually the next thing to sell out. Between 1 and 3 o'clock, depending on the time of year.
yeah,
During the busy season, they sell out faster.
yeah.
Um, you know, Past couple weeks since basically mid-August or early August, we've had cheeks up until 3, brisket up until 5 or 6 sometimes. Brisket is the next thing to sell out, usually like between 3 and 6. Kind of the same thing. Busy season, spring and fall. It's gonna be big, longer lines, longer, stuff sells out faster, bigger groups.
Yeah.
And then during the opposite, winter and summer, shorter lines, food's gonna last longer.
Can you get a burger all day long?
You get a burger all day long. So we have the anytime eats menu I was talking about is you can go, you don't have to wait in line for that at all. You can go right up to our bar
Oh,
and order that just without waiting in line at all. So there's burger, there's the chopped cheese, the Italian beef, there's the pork burger, there's 2 salads, there's a whole bunch of stuff on that menu. And then we add like the steak frites on the weekends, the chicken fried steak on Thursdays. We have some wings. So
wow. That's amazing that, but I guess your team is seasoned enough to be able to deal with all those different options and yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, at this point we're so busy and then we have to like cater to a lot of different people's like palates too and be able to
yeah,
serve people like there's so many people that just come because we don't have we don't take reservations and it's like if you just make them all line up for the one thing they're just
yeah, no,
every move that we're making these days is like we keep hearing X complaint. How do we just avoid that or make it better or do whatever.
yeah. And so, but dessert wise, do you think that will that be a seasonal thing too? Things will change with the seasons, like you'll come out with some different things for the fall or
So far, we've kept it pretty static, but added things. Um, Gosh, I feel like taking something off of there right now would be
because
so devastating because they're all so good. The only one I feel like I would want to take off is the cheddar cheesecake, and that's the one that's been on there longest, that probably has the most fans. And is the weirdest. So
yeah, yeah. I've heard a lot of people love it, so it's yeah. I don't know how you could do that. That's
it might be time to retire it. It's
yeah.
it's in the cookbook, so maybe when the cookbook comes out, we'll push it out to sea,
You can make it
and
at home.
yeah, yeah, we'll do something that maybe at that point we'll do something else.
Now, for is it just beer and wine, or do you have alcohol, or is it just beer and wine?
It's just a beer and wine license, but we do have our own kind of like beer and wine cocktails. We have a frozen Big Red Sangria that's really good. Some
That
other good
sounds
stuff. Yeah.
that's cool. That's awesome. Okay, and then you don't do ribs, right?
We have bacon ribs on Saturdays.
And what is that?
Bacon ribs are so we only, you know, get in half pigs. That's the only thing that we receive from this pig farm.
Yeah.
We've been looking for a steady supplier of locally raised, responsible, excuse
Bless you,
me.
bless you.
We've been looking for a really good pig supplier that can get us just ribs in Texas for our entirety, for our entire life as a business. Our first supplier ever was Peaceful Pork, was the rancher there at Loncito Cartwright, and we're very loyal to him in the fact that raises incredible pork. Uh, has really helped us out as a business for a very long time, and we love supporting them. We love their product. We love the fact that it's just the best tasting pork that we've ever had. And I believe some maybe false, maybe dumb, like hard-headed integrity to doing some butchery in house. And, you know, I like the way that we do the pigs. And I like the fact that we have a different thing than everybody else does, but it's like a really unique and good. But we've also just not been able to get ribs because we have higher sourcing standards than anybody else. And I don't want to sacrifice those standards. I know everybody would be really happy if we just had ribs, but I just don't. I would rather spend the money on people who are in the state, who are doing the good work, rather than commodity farms and ranches.
That
So
makes all the sense.
that being said, we're closer than we've ever been to finding these ribs, but that's a different conversation. I'll leave it at that. The bacon ribs, we butcher them from a half pig. You know, Ribs are like attached to the belly.
Hmm.
You take the pork belly off, and underneath it is a rack of pork spare ribs.
Yeah.
So we take the side of pork, we take the whole rack with the belly on, and then we cure that like bacon, and then we smoke it, and then we cut them individually and season them again, and then we smoke them again till they're tender. So it's basically the process of like a bacon burn end, but it's on the bone.
So, but
Yeah,
but it's yeah, because it's you have enough options and you have pork. Like I don't think that you need to have ribs, but I'm sure you get asked that all the time. I
every
want
day,
yeah, every day, every moment.
every moment.
Right now, you were asked about ribs by Kevin Kelly. And, no, but I knew that you did have ribs, and so that's why I kind of wanted to enforce it. It's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like people that want to go to Snow's on a Tuesday or something, and they're pissed that
Of
it's
course.
not open. The steak night, it's now available on Open Table. You can make reservations, right?
Yeah, so it's Thursday through Sunday. We take steak reservations. We bring in a quarter of beef every week in addition to those however many, like 3 to 4 whole hogs. We break that beef down to all the different cuts. This is actually Tuesday night. This is happening right now as we speak at the restaurant. But
Yeah, just
sure,
wait.
yeah.
Oh, so you have it on the day that you're day off? You have a steak night? Okay. Huh.
No, 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 not the steak night, but
The
the
butchery.
all the butchery.
All right,
Because the
rewind my
kitchen's
brain.
closed, so it's all laid out on the
Gotcha.
tables.
Okay, understood. Okay.
But we break down that quarter of beef every week. We get either a short loin or a rib loin, and then we cut big steaks out of that. They're like 3 inch, 3 pound steaks. They can feed like 2 to 6 people, kind of depending on the size. Sometimes like 2.5 to like 3.5 pounds.
Mhm.
And then we take reservations for those steaks. We will assign a steak to a party based on the size of the party.
Okay.
Uh, and then, people come in for their reservation, and you'd be surprised how many people don't know what they're coming in for. Just we have to explain what, oh no, they don't each get their own steak. You don't really need to order a main course because that's the steak,
Yeah.
and just kind of just like fill out everything in between. There's also a point when we get up and we take them to the pits and we do like a pit tour. Um, so it's really
That's cool.
fun.
It's
It's
experience. Yeah.
cool for it's cool for all of us who break it down, who cook this, who are smoking the steaks because we go like 200 to 225 really low. We smoke the hell out of them, and then pull them off when they're absolutely perfect. And then it's fun for the servers because it's more than just like doing on the barbecue line. Um, it's a really good time. We wheel out the block, like not the one from the behind the carving line, but we have a separate one that we kind of put right next to the table, and we like cut the steak in front of them, and we
Oh,
place it right there. So
table side.
yeah, it's a really cool experience.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, we do that 4 days a week. We take about 5 reservations a day
Are
between.
they selling out pretty quick? Like if you wanted for this week, is it already booked or
Yeah, no,
a couple weeks out?
they go up 90 days in advance, and they're like really they book out like instantly. They
Okay.
open because I think the open table offices in California, and they like open at like midnight in Pacific, and so it's like 2 a.m. In Texas. And I really feel bad every time I tell people that because I'm just like, yeah, I
Oh,
don't
that.
know, I don't expect you to get up and do that, but
Mm.
there's like a notify me button to where, people will do that. They'll get up, they'll click whatever day it is, they don't care. And then they'll, when it comes time, they haven't made a plan, and then they'll just like cancel. And so we have frequent cancellations. So if you're looking for that, I would say go and sign up on the notify me tab on Open Table. That way you can know
I
when
will
it's.
notify you if a cancellation comes through.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. And so, and so that's it's interesting. So then they go live when? Which day of the week? Or is it just 90 days?
90 days ahead. Yeah.
So if you could check at 2 in the morning every time and then okay. Yeah. Oh wow, that's interesting. I'm gonna
Yeah.
check tonight.
Yeah, dude.
I'm up at
Make
midnight.
time.
I can't sleep. I don't sleep, so
Yeah.
but I did. I think I made one when I was going to be coming. I made one with Sawyer. It was you had to make it direct at the beginning, right? And then
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
cancel. But yeah, that was me. Yeah, and actually, I think I was going to be at that new school barbecue.
That's right.
That Cole was going to be. Was
Yeah,
that?
that first one.
I would have met Cole. Oh well.
Well,
I,
anytime, dude.
I I need
Anytime.
to. I know. I've met him. I've met him on Zoom, so it doesn't matter. Let's. Okay.
Yeah.
Parking wise, uh, lots of parking or brown parking or
There's lots of street and like neighborhood parking, there's not a ton of parking in the lot. I would say there's like probably 30 or so spots. Maybe a little bit less, but
Okay,
yeah.
so but there's parking around, right? Like it's not.
There's parking outside and there's a lot of plenty of neighborhood parking.
I said something like had written barbecue is a method, not a menu. And
Mhm.
can you walk through kind of like what I guess we've kind of talked about that, but can you talk to that?
Yeah, I mean that's part of what our new school barbecue whole thing is, you know. Uh that's how a lot of people see barbecue is as a menu, right?
Yeah,
Those like what is barbecue? And it's like, well, it's brisket, it's ribs, it's potato salad, it's mac and cheese, it's sweet tea, it's banana pudding.
it's a
And
thing. Yes.
you know, to me it's more of like just it's like a method of cooking. You know, offset cooking, direct heat cooking, the service style of like market style meats, you know, kind of like carved meats and like picnic style casual sides. I think those are the things that make barbecue barbecue. So the meats can be different, they can be different cuts. Like, you know, KG does a bunch of lamb, like you can have a bunch of different types of meats and be actually barbecue. You can have, you know, Brazilian, you know, kind of like asada, um, you know, bunch
Yeah.
of different types and styles of barbecue. I was at a place today in Austin called Swedish Hill. It's this really good like cafe kind of right by my daughter's school, and I got like two of these little like side salad things you know, just to kind of like pass the time for lunch. One was this nice little tomato, olive oil, maybe a couple little cucumbers, a couple little things of mozzarella in there. And then another one was like a tabbouleh with kale and like sweet potatoes or squash in it. And you know, both of those are just as barbecue side as a coleslaw
Yeah.
is to me. And that's kind of like the idea of it. It's like it's it's a method of cooking, it's a service style. It's not the things, right? People come in all the time. You think about the expectations when you go to a barbecue place, right?
Hmm.
Dad says, "Okay, come on, kids. We're getting in the car. We're gonna go get barbecue." And dad's like, "Man, I can't wait for that brisket." And mom is like, "I can't wait to get those ribs." And the kids are like, "I can't wait for the mac and
Mac and
cheese."
cheese.
And then the other one's like, "My potato salad's my favorite." And they get to, you know, and these are not people who are entrenched in the uh, restaurant, you know, they're not looking stuff up online. They don't know what James Beard is from who else, like
Yeah,
anything.
it's just
And so they get out of the car and they see a long line, and then we don't have any of the things that we want. And they're just like, uh-huh, this place is supposed to be good, you know, and like it's
yeah.
easy to see how people can,
It makes sense when when you describe it that way. It makes
yeah,
sense why they'd be disappointed. It's because
yeah,
of expectations that people have.
it's the expectations. And so we really try to just like set those expectations as soon as they come in. We're just like,
Yeah.
hey, we're a little different. This is the things we have. It's all really good. You
Yeah.
can trust me. So
And that was kind of the reason why I'd wanted to talk to you again. And especially after that tour I was just wanted to, I knew that if everybody didn't know, like people even entrenched in the barbecue world might not know specifically what makes Leroy and Lewis. And I think that um, we've definitely covered a lot of that. I wanted to know about your trip because you went to Finland and I think you went with the Fijis to Finland. What was
yeah,
that trip? Because that trip from afar, I think you guys went to
sweet.
that Sweden and
It was well, no, we didn't go to Sweden. It was sweet. It was awesome.
oh Sweden. And you went to Sweden randomly. No.
Uh, so I think just right after the pandemic or right when it was starting to slow down, we had this guy come trail with us. His name is Aki. He has a restaurant in Finland, and
Miller.
he's awesome. And he also trailed at Aaron and Patrick's restaurant, Fetus Barbecue. And then he brought us both out to Finland to cook for an event, to teach a class, to kind of show us around. And we just had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
Uh, it was so cool. I loved it. And we also got to go to Copenhagen. That was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, the Copenhagen. Okay, that's what the Copenhagen. Yeah, because the photos and the food and the different. It just everything. It seemed like I want to text you guys when if I ever plan on going on that trip or visiting Anki or something. I
Yeah,
want that experience because it just looked like
you should
magic.
definitely go. You should
Yeah,
definitely go. It was fun. Yeah, sauna.
yeah.
That's all I gotta say. Sauna.
Sauna. Okay, I'll make a note of sauna. Did
Yeah.
have you been to Holy Smoke?
I have not. I've met the Johans a few times
Johan, yeah.
at different events, but no, I haven't been up there yet. I would love the opportunity.
Yeah. Can you explain just quickly, because I know you have videos, you have other things, but you've said foil boat, the foil boat method. What did you come
Yeah.
up with that at Friedman's or
Yeah, so we started doing that at Freedman's after almost like a mistake. Like we, had wrapped the briskets in foil. They weren't really kind of where they needed to be yet. One of the chefs kind of like didn't close it all the way and kicked up the heat. And then, the top got kind of crusty and crispy and it just tasted really, really good. It reminded me of John Miller's stuff. And I had always liked his food a lot. And so I kind of like, you know, all the rest of them, I rolled them down and kind of crimped them out like that and poured out some of the juice. And that's how we started finishing briskets. And it became kind of like a signature. And it also, differentiated us. And I just thought it was really good.
yeah. Did you from like during the Miller, I mean the Miller's day, the Freeman's days, did you uh cook different meats or is that all a LeRoy and Lewis thing? Like did you were you cut more
Yeah. So we started out that way at Friedman's, but I didn't really have the discipline to just like, you know, to like have everything to it takes a lot of work now to do that and make any money. Um, and so back then when we were just launching this place that, it didn't most days we didn't have two nickels to rub together.
yeah.
Uh, so like it was hard to do it at Friedman's, and so we had to pare down to a very basic barbecue menu with a couple little flourishes, but
Gotcha.
it started there.
Yeah.
We did some pork belly at Friedman's too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Now, being number two on the Texas Monthly Top 50, how was that feeling? And did there was a bump with Michelin? Like, what did was it a different bump? But like of
Yeah, I would say that the Michelin one is like has is bringing a lot of people from out of state, out of country. I would say that the Texas Monthly is bringing a lot of people within the state,
yeah,
on their summer road trips or whatever. Um, that was just incredible. I mean, I've obviously been following the list for a long, long time.
yeah,
We were trying really, really hard, as hard as we could to, be on top of that list. But, just the fact that we made it to number two, like I said, doing different kind of barbecue, kind of,
yeah,
all of those people who come with those expectations, as like I was talking about, they eat the food and their mind has changed. And then that is what is really the goal, is to like is make the food so good that people don't care about the
yeah.
expectations they have anymore. And then maybe, when they go to another barbecue place that might do something a little bit different too, they could be adventurous enough to try, something that's new there.
That's great. That's actually that would be a wonderful thing if that's. And I think it does happen. But yeah, that's wonderful.
I hope so. I
Hope
mean,
that's the goal. Yeah. Wouldn't that suck? That would suck if it did. But no, but it makes sense that that does help other restaurants that are doing different things.
yeah, I mean, and we've seen a lot of people kind of take our ideas and run with them too. And, some other people might get offended about that. I like that kind of stuff a lot. I like to see other people making our dishes and kind of
Mhm.
like their own versions of them or just trying to, take it to a different market and stuff too. So,
Yeah. And it's seriously the amount of people that have said, we make the L&L burger. Like the reason why we make our burger is because of you guys, and it's like there's easily dozens of places across the United
Oh
States.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
the
is awesome.
burger, the peaks. Yeah, we've seen there's a lot of bacon ribs. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I talked to Daniel, he was like he was saying it was like you and burnt bean. It was almost an interchangeable choice for him. That's
Yeah.
what, yeah. So it's
Yeah, and I mean, it's very likely the fact that we just do everything a little bit differently,
yeah,
that kind of like kept us from there. But like I said, I'd rather be our own thing. I would
yeah,
still rather not, we're we're still not going to buy the pork ribs if we don't have them, from the right source, even if that's
yeah,
going to generally keep us at number two. So,
yeah. Have you eaten at Burnt Bean?
of course.
No,
Yeah.
since I'm saying since like because they're your rivals now. So I'm just kidding. No,
Oh no, I don't think it's
you
no, I don't
know,
think it's
no,
like
I'm
that.
just I'm totally kidding. No, no.
I have a lot of respect for Ernest and Dave. One of our guys, Mason Mueller, who worked with us for a long time, now works over there and is doing really, really well. Their food is incredible. Yeah, dude. I mean, if anybody, yeah, like I said, I have a lot of respect for them.
And if someone was going to be number one, it's not a terrible thing that it's Ernest and
Yeah,
Dave. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's nice that those like think about how close two of the best Texas restaurants are. Like it's yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah,
I almost don't like and it's funny because I think of you as barbecue, but the way that your menu is and even Verbene, like it's I think of you guys as restaurants as opposed to just barbecue
right.
restaurants. Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
that
I mean, that's the idea, and that's almost how, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to run a barbecue place, but the way that we have to do it, it's so hard. The margins are so small that you have to like make it up in other different ways. We have to have all this stuff on the anytime meets. Like our numbers have to be such that, and we have to employ so many people and have such a big space, and then like you start to wrap your mind around how big it is, and it gets a little bit scary.
it's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's definitely a challenge. What is your go-to? This is kind of we'll wrap it up. What's your go-to thing to eat right now at LeRoy Lewis? And what would you recommend if someone was coming in for the first time or the 40th time? What would you? So those three things.
So if I see two people who've never been there before, I always recommend a two meat plate. That recommendation is going to change based on the time of day and what we have, but I would say probably beef cheeks and flat iron, or beef cheeks and whole hog, or maybe one of our sausages. Definitely beef cheeks, but with kale Caesar slaw and Frito pie. And then I would say you got to get a burger. Um, you should probably get onion rings with the burger. But if you don't want the onion rings, that's okay. At least get one dessert. Doesn't matter what dessert you get one dessert. The thing that I'm obsessed with right now on the menu is probably the pork burger. I've been obsessed with that for a while. It's a pork patty. It's our really good peaceful pork. It's a smash burger. It's a you can get a double patty, but I like it as a single because it's a very light. It almost feels like a healthy burger just because it's like a white meat and there's a lot of veggies on it. It's like
Yeah.
lettuce, tomato, onion, and it's like has mustard, so it's a little brighter. And like the mustard also, that says a very kind of like Texas ice house, like roadhouse burger to me. And so if you get the pork burger with like the onion rings, it's like very kind of a nostalgic Texas experience that's not necessarily a barbecue experience, but it is adjacent to that.
You didn't
Uh,
mention pork burger when you were talking about, is that all that an everyday thing?
oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
It's really good.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't know about that, but I do now. And
It's really good.
I'll spread the word of the pork burger. I just had a mushroom Swiss burger for dinner, and it was just so like I crave mushroom Swiss burgers for some reason
They're
all the
so
time.
good.
They're so
Yeah,
good. It's like stupid good. I don't know.
yeah,
It's there's something special about that. I don't know that
yeah,
combination, that earthiness, and yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, is there anything about you or Leroy Lewis that we haven't talked about, or that you want people to know, or you know, we've this is our fourth time I think we've spoken, so they
Yeah, I
should
don't
know.
know, man. I don't think so. Um,
just wanted to catch up,
Yeah.
and I wanted to,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
congratulations on
Thank
Michelin,
you.
congratulations
Thank
on
you.
number two. I was
Thank
so
you.
like I was so proud, and I was so happy for you guys, and
Thank you so much, Kevin.
I think I texted you as soon as I could, but I was definitely it's just it's a nice thing to see your friends
Yeah.
succeed and like in a way that's different than other people.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Absolutely, man.
That's
Thank
awesome.
thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.